Have you ever loved something so much that you just want to make it happen every day? Me neither. This is a podcast a day. Pod a day, 3, 4, 2 or something. I am so irritated. I am so annoyed. I literally ended the last one, which you haven't heard, by going, you know what? That was a bit of a ramble, but that was probably my best one in weeks, months even. Just felt like the energy was right. Found the right pocket. Found the right kind of thing to talk about. That sort of had me going and going and going and going and going. And then, first of all, it was all in slow motion. But that was easy to fix. That was fine. But then it corrupted for some reason halfway through there, and I just lost it. And it was a catch-up thing because I missed... Or no, I missed the day because of it. Because it corrupted my whole thing. And I was just like, now I got to do a catch-up. It wasn't even my fault. It wasn't really about anything interesting. Actually, one of the things was Gavin and Stacey. It was a long build-up. I set it up. I basically went through the whole career. It was like a video essay on James Corden, basically. I'm sweltering right now. Jesus Christ, I shouldn't be wearing this many layers. But yeah, it was like a whole fucking like the life and story of James Corden, the rise and fall and potential rise again, Gavin and Stacey, and what it was in this show, and it's coming back for a Christmas special. Hooray! And that's all lost to the void. That's all in the upside down now, never to be seen again. It is it's been fucking scattered with the rest of the like Loki. They got like that void place where all of like the shit gets chucked when you get pruned and that. Which, speaking of that, last time I was talking about the Deadpool numbers, apparently that's the most reviewed movie trailer ever within 24 hours. And it beat out No Way Home, it beat out Infinity War, and I just feel like they're just doing this with every new... When No Way Home got it, I was even a little bit surprised, like, really? More hype than Infinity War and Endgame or whatever? That felt massive. And it kind of just feels like they want to get... The next big film always has to be the new biggest one. Because I'm sorry, just like living through it, the hype is nowhere near the same with No Way Home for Deadpool. Like, people are excited for it. Like, oh yeah, that'll be a fun movie. That'll be good. Like, I like Deadpool. I like Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman. That will be good. And I'm gonna watch the trailer. Cool. But like 300 and something, 24 million views in 24 hours, beating out No Way Home by like a few million. It's just like, this feels like bullshit. This is like Avatar being #1 movie re-release type bullshit going on. But like, apparently, it beat it out. Then today I read 124 of those million views counted in their most viewed 24-hour things. They was counting the people who watched the Super Bowl. So I'm assuming this year 125 million people, or 160 million people, or whatever, watched the Super Bowl. And they just added those numbers to the trailer views it got on across all platforms. Therefore saying, well, if this many people watched the Super Bowl, they also watched our trailer, and therefore this is the most viewed trailer in 24 hours. It's just bull. I smelt foul play. It wasn't... There is no way Deadpool, like, just naturally... Even, like, when you look at the YouTube video, how many views it got, because I was, like, confused. Like, it got this many views. I checked out the YouTube video. This was within the first 24 hours. And it had, like, 19 mil, which is a lot. But, like, obviously Mr. Beast does, like, 50 and 24. And No Way Home definitely did more views than that in 24. And I just thought... I guess it must have really popped on other platforms then, because YouTube, it seems like it's done well, but not, like... Definitely not more than what I would think the competitors would be. And it's just like, we're just like, what does stats even mean anymore? It's just a way to have a bit of hype for it to be like, what? It's the most view. I gotta see it then. It's just like a way to do that. It's not even real. What are the stats for? It doesn't mean anything. Everything's just inflated, and they probably inflated the No Way Home ones as well, because that had to be #1 to help sell. I don't know. I was going to say to help sell. I just to everyone want. I don't know. Why do I even care? It doesn't even fucking matter. We'll keep it Marvel related then, and all that kind of stuff, because Fantastic Four has its cast, which it would be cool if like this. Remember when like news? Actually, I don't. I saying this like I do. Remember, I don't. But like when news like this would just drop, like seeing. I remember I was listening to a podcast and they was talking about their experience seeing Winter Soldier for the first time, and they never really read the comics. And when Bucky catches the shield and he takes the mask off in the movie, they was like, "What, Bucky?" Like, imagine a world where you go to see Spider-Man and you didn't know Andrew Garfield was going to be in it, and Tobey Maguire type thing. But now you just know everything, even like down to cast and stuff. Like, imagine a world where they just drop that image, like the little drawing of like the 60s aesthetic or whatever it was, 50s, 60s, or the Fantastic Four cast illustrated, and it's just like that. So you got it. I mean, I thought we've known Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, them two were going to be it for a while. The Thing was kind of between what's his name? Eben Moss Barak, I think, and David Diggs. And then Johnny Storm, is that his name? These are crazy names. He was always kind of rumored to be Joseph Quinn, or I think it was Paul Mescal for a while, which I would prefer just because I prefer Paul Mescal as an actor. But then again, you sometimes don't want to see like these actors be put into a Marvel world, not because like their stock's gonna drop by being in Marvel films, but just like, are they gonna embarrass themselves? Because like, you know, I used to think that's just a myth. If you're a great actor, you can just do it all, and people would say like, people always say like comedic acting's way harder than like emotional acting. I don't know if I fully subscribe to that, but what I do subscribe to is I think a comedic actor can transition better to doing something emotional and dramatic than a dramatic actor doing something comedic, or like not even necessarily having to be comedic, but just like a bit more camp and out there and goofy without it coming across as cringe. Like what people were fearing with Timothy Chalamet in Wonka, what I think happened with what's her name? Not Naomi Watts. Not I can't even think of who Naomi Watts is or what she looks like. So I don't know why that name's came to my head. Woman from Star Wars and all that other shit. I never remember her name. You know, female Thor. That's not meant to be what she's called, but basically, I hate when I have to Google. It just ruins the flow of everything. Thor, Love, and Thundercast. What's her name? Natalie Portman. When they had her doing stuff like, what's my catchphrase gonna be? Here, hammer, and stuff, and she was doing that stuff. I was like, oh my god, this is really hard to watch. Like, I do not enjoy this right now. So like, that you could fear basically Paul Mescal trying to be like a Johnny Storm. We've seen him play like a depressed dad who kills himself effectively in After Sun, and like, I've not seen Normal People, but whenever you see Normal People, it's clips of him in like some therapy room just like crying in some serious tone, again depression related. And it's like, I haven't seen All Our Strangers, but I don't get Marvel vibes from it. So like Joseph Quinn, though he's been in Stranger Things, so like is basically going to be doing a similar thing. You kind of see it more, but I just prefer Paul Mescal, so I would have liked Paul Mescal more basically. In terms of the casting, I think The Thing casting's really good. I think Ebon Moss Barak is good casting for The Thing. I like that. Apparently that character is meant to be Jewish, and he's Jewish as well, so that's a win-win on all them fronts. I think Pedro Pascal, I like that as well. I think he can he can make it an iconic role and make it into something. I think he doesn't stereotypically look like it, like the sort of taller, kind of more narrow-faced kind of looking guy. But to be honest, that kind of what people would want, it kind of seems kind of generic. I feel like he can turn into something that's quite interesting and good and cool. And everyone seems to like Pedro Pascal, I guess, so that's all. That's good. Vanessa Kirby feels like a very obvious one. Like, she feels like so obvious. But then again, I haven't really got any other options for who else should take it. And Joseph Quinn... I think Joseph Quinn and Vanessa Kirby are my least favourite out of the castings because they don't feel interesting. I feel like those are the two characters as well where you could get maybe lesser known actors for them. Like, I feel like maybe Reed Richards and Johnny Storm... No, Reed Richards and... maybe actually just even Reed Richards actually then is the one where you go, probably need like a big name for this. But I feel like and to be fair, I wouldn't... I mean, most of his notoriety now is like from The Bear, so I'd argue that's different. Like, he's not huge, Eben, but I feel like, I don't know, they've went for stars for all four basically, and I feel like at least two of the roles, and if I had to pick two, you could probably go the siblings, right? You could get people, I don't know, I'm not saying just complete open cast and complete unheard of like newbies. That would be cool though. But like, you could get like, I don't know, like it doesn't feel like the type of thing. It feels like they was thinking of some big actors. They offered them contracts. They couldn't afford some of them. Then they moved to the next people. Like, it doesn't feel like they've really went out and put like the feelers out properly. It's kind of just like they went for like obvious people in like all of the people they got were in like a top 5 list they made, and they just went contacted them people, and their agents got in touch and this and that, and they found them. Like, it's the most uninspired, I would say, Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn, I guess. And apparently a lot of people don't like the Joseph Quinn casting, which I didn't know. Like, I find it boring, but I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he'll do a good job. People have their weird reasons for not liking it, though. I don't know. They think he's too old, or they think I don't know what they think. And I don't have another option for who I would cast. I haven't got anyone in mind. So I guess I'll just accept it and I'll watch a film. And if it's got a good aesthetic and there's a good chemistry there, I think I like it. I think the Thing casting is the Thing and Reed Richards are actually really good. Now I think about it, I think those, and especially seeing it in that image, like which they drew up, I was like, because I just never really could see it before. Like even Pedro Pascal pretending to be him, but then immediately in the image I thought, okay, well, that's a look they'd go for and actually works pretty well. The Who would I have as the Human Torch? Who's like, thing is, I'm not good with like who's like doing well right now. Who's like good casting for that? Someone who could be like Vanessa Kirby's younger brother, basically. That's the thing. And how old is Vanessa Kirby anyway? Because for Joseph Quinn to be the younger brother, she has to be older than I guess I thought she was. She must be in her 40s then, or late 30s. I guess siblings don't have to be like 10, 20 years apart. They can literally be 2 years apart, what am I saying? But yeah, I'll watch it. It ain't coming out till 2025, so what does it really matter? It's just that I feel like it's not as bad, but you know Brett Goldstein, the casting in Thor: Love and Thunder as Hercules. That to me is like so uninspired, man. It's just like doing big things. Ted Lasso, everyone loves him. Get him in. Harry Styles as that guy at the end of Eternals, man. It's like some of these kind of castings. It's like, why are you not just casting? Why the casting's so lazy, you know? So that's a little bit of the vibes I got, but you know, you know, with Jack, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I was gonna say Jack Quaid. He's kind of doing this shit right now, but again, that's a little bit. I don't know. I think I did see rumors of Jack Quaid maybe being touted for it. I feel like someone who feels a bit younger though than Jack Quaid. Who's doing bits? I feel like I should watch more TV and I'd know more. I don't watch a lot of shit. But yeah, no. If I had time to think about it, I can guarantee you, I would give you a fucking fantastic, phenomenal lineup. But I ain't good on the spot. I ain't good at the spot of thinking of names. I can think of probably like 4 actors right now off the top of my head, and that's all. Oh, what's I got? I'm fucking sweltering, mate. I'll tell you that right now for free. Deadpool, Fantastic Four. The other things don't really fit in too much. Although this is completely unrelated, but I'm just going to say it now because I don't see how it would fit into what I want to talk about after this, which is Roy Hodgson, Football Manager, right? He got sacked, I think. I think he's sacked now. He got sacked today from Crystal Palace. And like they didn't do the press conference and they released a statement saying, unfortunately, we won't have the press conference with Roy today. He's unfortunately been taken ill to the hospital, which happened like a couple months ago. So you're like, okay, that follows narrative. And then and then I saw like 2 hours later, Roy Hodgson's been sacked. They've got this new guy in charge, right? Which begs the question: is he not sick? And you said he was taken ill, when really you were doing stuff behind the scenes and you was just firing him, which would be kind of weird to do. Why would you do that? Why would you pretend Rory's in hospital, hospitalized, when you really just sacked him? Is it B, he is actually ill, and we're also sacking him? So it's just sort of like, you know, in the movie when it's like the person's trying to break up with the other person, and then they go there to do it. They're at the coffee shop, and just as they're about to say it, the person says, "Sorry, I'm just really upset. My grandma, she just, she jumped off a bridge today," and it's like, oh my god, now I can't break up because it's the bad news thing. So like Roy is in hospital and they didn't care. They was like, oh, I mean, that's bad for you. Also, that's your final pay slip, Roy. Don't come back in tomorrow morning, mate. We wish you well though, and good with your health. And they just went, fuck it, we don't care. We're just gonna pile on the bad news. You've got cancer and you're fired. I don't know why he's actually in hospital. Or is it C? Those two things aren't related. Aren't unrelated. It's not that he just happens to be sick and he got fired on the same day. He got fired, which drove him to the point of illness. I don't know. It's just so weird how it happened in like 2 hours. We're not doing a press conference because Rory's been hospitalized. He's in hospital, and then he comes out, he's fired. It's just like weird. Bad timing, you know what I mean? I just kinda had to say it. But yeah, that's all. Pod a day. 400 and 300 and something. That's all. Thank you very much. Dankeschön.